Well, Prince William has been in the news this last week. He was visiting New York City. So it was really nice to see him taking a trip to the US. And it doesn't appear that he's going to be visiting his brother, Prince Harry, while he's in the US. So that's quite interesting. We're going to be taking a look at Prince William's chart today to get an idea of what kind of astrological energies he's going to be navigating currently and also into the near future here. So, for those of you that are new to my channel, make sure you like and subscribe. And also, if you're interested in a private personal reading, check for details down below. And I have some special discounts that I'm running as well. So, let's go ahead and take a look at Prince William's chart. Let's just snap right to it, right? We're going to pull that up on Paint here. And also, I just want to give a quick disclaimer. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. I am just speculating on the astrological energies, and these are all allegedlys about Prince William. So, one of the things that I want to point out before we talk about the Mahadasha and Bhukti, which I always like to focus on when we do these energy updates on the royal family, is transiting Saturn. Let's talk about that for a second here. It's in the third house of Aquarius in Prince William's chart. And it's transiting Saturn's in Aquarius for all of you that are watching right now. So it's for everybody. But one thing I want you to be aware of, it's going to be there all the way till March of 2025. And in March 2025, it's going to go into the fourth house of Pisces there. So this transit's quite a long time. It's currently retrograde right now, and it's about to go direct around November 4th is when Saturn's going to be going direct. So, we're going to see a lot of energies there. But one thing I want to point out is you'll notice it's in the third house in Prince William's chart. And the third house has to do with siblings. It has to do with especially younger siblings. So think of this. Think of there's this energy of dispute, or this really heavy energy with the relationship with Prince Harry. Okay. And so if we think of like a brotherly dispute or conflict or disagreement, that's ongoing until March of 2025, really. So during this transit, what Saturn's going to be doing for Prince William is it's going to be actually, through all these little trials and all these little disputes and all these little and maybe they still talk to each other or text each other. I don't know their personal life, but through this, what I want you to know is that what Saturn's going to try to do by the end of this transit is try to make some sort of peace between them. So believe it or not, there eventually may be some peace between Prince William and Prince Harry. Even though I know there's a lot of people that think there should never be a peace between William and Harry. I see things being worked out by the end of, or about by March of 2025 when the Saturn transit. So we could see the relationship actually get a lot better at that point. Now, could it be because circumstances changed with Prince Harry? That's very possible. So we got to consider that as well. Their circumstances could change with Prince Harry. And so, it might also change his relationship with Prince William and King Charles and the whole nine yards there. So also let's talk about the other transit I want to talk about. Remember, transiting Rahu is in the sign of Aries right now. It's going backwards into the sign of Pisces. October 30th is going to be when it changes signs here. And of course, this is going to affect all of you. So all of you watching this is universal. Just check what house number it is. So depending on your ascendant, it's going to be a different house number. So for Sagittarius ascendant, Rahu's going to be going into the fourth house. Well, when Rahu's going to be in the fourth house starting October 30th, it stays there for 18 months. That's how long Rahu and Ketu will stay in the sign. And Ketu, by the way, will be in Virgo during this transit. So we got to look at both of them. But what I want you to know is that while Rahu's going through the fourth house of Prince William's chart, there really is a focus on home, but homeland. So I mean, it could be that Prince William's at home a lot, but because of the dasha he's going to be in, and we'll talk about that in a second, I feel like this has to do with homeland. So there may be a lot of priorities or pressing issues within his country, okay, the United Kingdom. During that 18-month period, there could be some difficult circumstances that are happening, especially considered that consider that K2 is going through the sign of Virgo, and there's these really difficult planets there. We got Saturn there and we got Mars there. So that suggests, there's a lot of heavy karma that's being released during this period. Okay. There's a lot of, believe it or not, family karma because Saturn rules the second house. There's a lot of, again, brother karma that's being, remember, we talked about the Saturn transit. A lot of this karma is coming up. And then we got the Mars energy. There's, he's going to be obviously taking care of his kids. And also, there's also this international affairs. There could be definitely things happening abroad, especially with Mars ruling the 12th house. So anyways, he's focused on a homeland. I do feel like there is in the world, especially well, this is going to affect the whole world. I feel like there's going to be a crisis of some sort in the end of and by the way, it won't let me clean the rest of this, so we'll just leave it at it as is. But there's going to be a crisis, I believe, by the end of the year, and this is going to affect all of us around the world. And I feel like it's going to be late October, November timeframe that we could see some sort of international crisis. And this, of course, could affect Prince William's chart, the royal family, the whole 9 yards there. Second time I used that phrase. Okay, so let's go check a look at the Vimshottari Dasha. Remember, in Vedic astrology, we use these periods called dashas, which are planetary periods, and that's really when certain karmas are ripening in your life. What I want to point out is in Prince William's chart, he's about to change his planetary dasha on October 3rd, 2023. So that's literally in a week of this video being made. So he's about to change planetary periods. Okay. And let me clean up the chart on that. So that's going to be October 3rd. October 3rd is, oh, cool. I get to use this. October 3rd is when he's changing into Rahu Bhukti. So we're going to talk about Rahu, and he's going to be in this Rahu Bhukti all the way till August 9th of 2026. And I know those of you in the UK, I know you write it differently. I know you switch those numbers there. So forgive me, I'm American, so I'm so used to writing the month first. So he's going to be in this Rahu period for approximately 3 years. It's a pretty long bhukti. Let's talk about what this 3-year period could involve. Now, the interesting thing about Rahu in Prince William's chart is Rahu's in the 7th house. There definitely is a focus on marriage. Okay. And look at it. It's with the moon and it's with the sun. So there's several things to dissect here. One of the things you have to be aware of during Rahu is Rahu can represent like sudden events, strange things. Okay. And it also can lead to like sudden leaps into higher positions. Okay. Positions of leadership. What Rahu does is Rahu creates some sort of situation where there's a quantum leap or a leapfrog in your status or what you do in the world. And usually it's through some sort of like extraordinary or mystical or even, sudden event where there's this rise to leadership. So remember, 7th house is 10th from 10th. So this could be even career and leadership. 10th from 10th. Okay. So we got to remember that's what the 7th house. So a lot of people think, oh, it's marriage. Yes, it is marriage, but it's also career as well. So definitely remember I told you, I feel like there's this crisis that's approaching in the world, could be happening October, November, at least towards the end of the year. I feel like more of this crisis is going to be manifesting. And it's interesting. He's entering Rahu, which can represent sudden things that are happening. And notice that Rahu's with moon and Rahu is with sun. Rahu with sun can show that in this current life, there's a there's a desire for the soul to experience leadership. So when I think, will Prince William become king one day? Well, yeah, look at this. Rahu and Sun together. This is all about leadership, becoming a leader. Now, does this mean that he's going to become king during this 3-year period? That's an extreme prediction right there. It's not necessarily that. It could mean that. But it also could mean that he just takes a more leadership role, like within the royal family. So, for example, if King Charles appoints him to a certain leadership position, that could be the interpretation as well. So, a rise to leadership, a rise to more authority. So, let's think about Rahu's with the moon in the chart, which is homeland. Remember, Rahu is going to be in the fourth house. Homeland, and then moon rules the eighth house of sudden, events. Eighth house can represent catastrophic events. Okay. So I feel like there's this energy of leadership that's being required during this upcoming Rahu period. It's an opportunity in some ways. And there's almost, when you're in a Rahu period, the opportunity can be almost over your head in some ways. So it's almost like you rise into this leadership position, and then you're given all these responsibilities, and maybe it's way more responsibilities than you're used to in your life. So Rahu can kind of give you what you want. What's that old saying? You all remember that saying, be careful what you wish for. That's kind of what Rahu's about. Be careful what you wish for, because that person that wants to become a leader or a CEO, well, do you know the amount of responsibility and stress that accompanies that rise to power? Okay, so be careful what you wish for. That's what Rahu. So Rahu is almost a magical planet in a lot of ways. It's in Punarvasu Nakshatra, which is the commencement of wealth. So that's kind of interesting. Very interesting. And just, I feel like Rahu, because Rahu's considered a malefic planet. It's next to moon. It's closer to moon than it is sun in the chart here. So it does suggest like problems in the homeland. Okay. Now we know his mother, we know she passed on, years ago. So the interpretation is not necessarily mother in this interpretation. To me, it feels like homeland. Something's going on in the home. It could be a crisis in the Western world that we could be seeing here very shortly. I've been getting a lot of kind of dire warnings in a lot of astrology charts about the near future, the end of 2023. So we'll see what happens. But what we're going to see is Prince William is, of course, as we talked about earlier, I still see that there's this difficulty with his brother, Prince Harry, but also there's something's about to happen in the near future where he's going to be given some sort of more leadership, okay, leadership role in some fashion, okay. Whether it be from the government or King Charles, if it's more of a ceremonial type of leadership, we'll see what that really is. But Rahu with Sun indicates being a respected leader, like people are looking up to you for inspiration. So that's really what it represents. So thank you so much for all of you watching this. Comment down below, let me know what you think about Prince William and also Prince Harry, and also let me know what other charts you would like me to read within the royal family. And of course, if it seems like a really good idea, I'll do it. So thank you so much for watching, and all of you take care till the next video.